I have some pictures and videos for you. Tigray Defense Force has shared pictures of heavy weaponry which they are in possession of. TDF allied news sources have shared pictures of some howitzers, anti-aircraft weapons, multiple launch rocket systems, howitzers and rifles. I'll show you these pictures. Secondly, Ethiopian National Defense Force has shared a video and some pictures as well. ENDF claims that this video is an evidence that TDF fighters entered Amhara region from Sudan and they tried to join hands with Kimant fighters and they launched an offensive in Gondar, but the offensive failed. I'll show the video shared by Ethiopian National Defense Force. Before that, we were Somalia. Political tensions are running high these minutes in Somalia. President of Somalia Abdullahi Farmajo and intelligence head Fahad Yassin are on one side and Prime Minister of Ethiopia Hussein Roble is on the other side. Two power centers have emerged in Somalia and political tensions are very high, viewers. Abdi Hajir, a Somali police chief, has summoned a special meeting of Somali police commanders. It seems that Somalia could move towards another civil war if better sense did not prevail. Now, what happened, viewers, is that in June, Ikran Tahlil, a young female intelligence officer, disappeared. The family of Ikran Tahlil pointed finger towards NISA, National Intelligence and Security Agency of Somalia. NISA blamed the disappearance of Ikran Tahlil on Al-Shabaab. But the armed group issued a statement. It rejected its any role in the disappearance of Ikran Tahlil. Hussein Roble, Prime Minister of Ethiopia, told NISA to submit a detailed report about the disappearance of Ikran Tahlil. NISA did not submit the report. Then PM Roble, a few hours ago, suspended Fahad Yassin, NISA's chief. And Hussein Roble appointed General Bashir as the new head of NISA, National Intelligence and Security Agency of Somalia. After Somali PM Hussein Roble suspended Fahad Yassin, head of NISA, President of Somalia Farmajo told the NISA chief to continue working. So now PM Roble has appointed a new chief of NISA, but President of Somalia has told the former chief Fahad Yassin to continue working. We have seen tensions in Somalia since the start of this year, viewers. At the start of this year, President Farmajo's term expired. Somali Parliament's term expired. Lower house of Somali Parliament granted extension to Farmajo. After that, opposition groups and some factions of Somali army opposed Farmajo's extension. And at the start of this year, in March and April, I think, Somalia was on the verge of war. In Mogadishu, there was mobilization of armed groups backing Farmajo and opposition groups. Better sense prevailed back then. Negotiations were held. It was decided that Farmajo will remain president, but he'll step aside, and Hussein Roble will steer the country towards next election. In October, presidential election is due to be held in Somalia. But before the holding of election, tensions are running high between Farmajo, President of Somalia, and Hussein Roble, Prime Minister of Somalia. Coming hours very critical, viewers. Farmajo wants Fahad Yassin to continue while Hussein Roble has suspended Fahad Yassin and he has appointed General Bashir as new head of NISA. Secondly, viewers, Tigray Defense Force has shared pictures of heavy weaponry. You can see the first picture on your screen. It is an anti-aircraft weapon, OGLA. It is a man-pad. You put it on your shoulder and fire. It is used against low-flying aircrafts. Tigray Defense Force has shot down at least 2 Ethiopian Air Force aircraft since November 2020. One was shot down in Abe Adi and the other was shot down close to Mekelle. The first one was a MiG-23 and the second one was a C-130 of Ethiopian Air Force. And reportedly, this anti-aircraft weapon was used by Tigray Defense Force. Secondly, you can see a BM-21 Grad MLRS multiple launch rocket system, an expensive piece of equipment. It can fire multiple rockets simultaneously. It has a range of 20-30 kilometers. A very effective weapon was. Thirdly, you can see a D-30 Howitzer 122 mm. These howitzers can fire artillery shells up to 20-30 kilometers distance views. And lastly, some AK-203 rifles can be seen. So TDF is in possession of all types of weaponry now, and most of its weaponry it has seized from Ethiopian National Defense Force. Over the past 3 days, we have been hearing statements from Amhara region's president, Amhara politicians, Ethiopian Prime Minister office that fighters are entering Ethiopia from Sudan. TDF fighters, Kimut militia members are entering Ethiopia from Sudan, and they're involved in fighting Ethiopian National Defense Force close to the areas of Amhara-Sudan border. Amhara news sources shared some refugee cards as well, and they say that Sudanese refugees, which are basically Tigrayans, these Tigrayan refugees in Sudan, they have entered Amhara region. Now a video has been shared by Ethiopian National Defense Force. In the video, a TDF fighter can be seen in the custody of ENDF, and the TDF fighter can be heard saying that he entered Ethiopia from Sudan. The video cannot be an evidence that TDF fighters are entering Ethiopia from Sudan, because the fighter is in the custody of Ethiopian National Defense Force. How reliable is the statement of a person who is in the custody of another force? So, but ENDF and other Amhara news sources are sharing this video as an evidence that hundreds of TDF fighters, Kimut fighters, entered Amhara region from Sudan, and they launched an offensive on ENDF in Amhara, Sudan border areas near Gondar, but the offensive failed. Watch the video shared by Ethiopian National Defense Force. Thanks for watching.
አክሱም ወረዳ ወረዒ ለከ ማን ነው ቦታው? ልዩ ቦታው ተንቤን ነው። ተንቤን አካባቢ መቅነጣ ይባላል። ተንቤን አይ መቅነጣ አካባቢ ማለት ነው። ዞሮ ተንቤን ይርቃል። እሺ ትግል የገባው መቼ ነው? አሁን ነው ስልጣን ነው የገባው። ስልጣን የገባው? አዎ። መቼ? ትናንት። ከምን የነበርከው መጀመሪያ ስትነሳ? ከሀሸባ ሀሸባ የሚባል ከሁመራ በረከት የሚባል አለ። ሀሸባ በረከት። እሺ ስደተኛ ካምፕ ነበር? አዎ ስደተኛ ካምፕ። እሺ ሀሸባ ነው ያልከው? ሀሸባ ሀሸባ ስደተኛ ካምፕ። አዎ ሀሸባ ሀሸባ ነው ካሸባ ሀሸባ። እሺ ስደተኛ ካምፕ ሪፊውጂ ነበር? አዎ ከዛው እንትን ስደተኛ ነው ነበር። ከዛ በፊት ምን ነበር? ምን ትሰራ ነበር? ብሎ ስራ ወታደር ነበር? እኔ አልነበር። እርግጠኛ ብሎ ስራ ነው ያው ጀሪ አጨራ ምናምን ነው የሚሰራው። እሺ መቼ ነው የገባኸው ወደ ሪፊውጂ? በቃ ከነሱ የገባሁማ 12 ቀን 13ኛ ወይ እስከ እስከዛሬ 14 ቀን ነው እስከ መንገድ 3 ቀን ተጉዘናል። የት ነው 14 ቀን የሚሆነው? ከጉዞ ከሀበሻ ወደዚህ ላ ከሱዳን ወደዚህ ሱዳን ነው የተገናኘው። እኛ እኮ ሱዳን ተገኛችሁ? አዎ። ሱዳን ምን ተሰጣችሁ? ያ ሪፊውጅ ካምፕ ላይ ምን ተሰጣችሁ? ሱዳን ካምፕ አልገባንም። መጀመሪያማ የኔ ልንገርህ ከነሱም ሲመጣ ማለት ነው። እኔ ሀሸባ ነው የሚኖረው የነበርኩ። ሀሸባ ሲኖር ዝም ብሎ የሆነ ጓደኞች ነበሩ እንደዚህ ማጥወጣ ምናምን ይሉናል። ከማን ጋር ነው ምን አለኝ ምናምን ያልኳቸው ነበርኩ ማለት ነው።